All right, so let's talk about solving inequalities. So solving inequalities, you're going to find out, is very much the same as solving equations, except for where you saw the equal sign, there's now an inequality sign, a greater than, less than, or not equal to sign. The only thing you have to really remember right now is that if I multiply or divide by a negative, you have to switch the sign. So multiply or divide by a negative. Flip the sign. Right, so that's what we need to remember, right? Flip the sign only if you multiply or divide. So if I add a negative, don't flip the sign. If you subtract a negative, don't flip the sign. If you multiply or divide by a negative, yes, now you flip the sign. What if it's a negative number and I divide by a positive number? Don't flip the sign. Only if you multiply or divide by a negative number. All right, so let's see how that plays out when we do this here. So here's number one on the note sheet is do this just like you were going to solve, right? So I'm looking at, I need to get the n by itself. That means I need to undo around the n. So that means divide by 10, divide by 10. Now, I want you to notice real quick that that is a negative number, negative 20, but I am dividing by a positive number. If you're dividing by a positive number, leave it alone. Leave that sign alone. So it's going to be n greater than negative 2, and we're done. That's it. There you go. That's good for number one. All right, let's look at number two. Number two, I need to get this guy by itself, n. So I'm going to divide by negative 10. Divide this side by negative 10. We're going to keep things balanced just like it was an equation. So that goes away. So I get n. I divided by a negative number. If I divide by a negative number, what do we need to do? Flip the sign. Flip the sign. Negative 9. And now we're done. So again, check it. The sign, which used to be less than, is now greater than. Right? Here's one of the deals. Well, that's kind of crazy. It's weird. But let's try it, right? Negative 10. Let's, why don't you pick a number greater than negative 9? You know, like 0. Yep, that's greater than negative 9. 0 is less than 90. Is it 0 less than 90? Yep, check. It looks like we're working, right? Greater than negative 9. If you would have picked less than negative 9, if you forget to flip the sign, so like negative 10, try negative 10 times negative 10, less than 90. Negative 10 times negative 10 is 100, less than 90. Nope, that won't work. That's why that sign has to flip. So there you go. There's the proof. There it is. Flip the sign. We divided by a negative value. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Let's just crank through a couple more, trying to get this by itself. What does that mean? Subtract 18, subtract 18. Now, I am subtracting 18, not multiplying or divided by a negative, so don't mess with anything, right? So 17 less than x. Done. Done. Or, if you like to, you can always rewrite that, right? Just flip that thing around. Make sure the sign is appropriate. It looks like it's eating the x on the top one. It needs to look like it's eating the x on the bottom one. All right. Let's try this one here. Let's go. I need to subtract negative 28. Guess what subtract negative also means? Scratch that. Let's just say add 28, right? Subtract a negative means add. Add 28 to this side, right? I did not multiply or divide by a negative, so n is still less than, is that? Negative 19, right? So that's what that would look like right there. Okay, there we go. Let's keep on moving. Here we go. This one looks like, we got a couple steps to have to do here. Let's see. I'm going to combine like terms on this side. Remember, just like an equation. So negative 5 less than or equal to negative 5n, because I can combine 6n with a positive n, but it's negative 6n. So we got that. All right, now my next step, divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. Goes away. N, check it. We are dividing by a negative. So what are we going to need to do? That's right. Flip the sign. That's going to be a positive. Whoa, wrong one. I want a positive 1, and then the sign flipped. Just looks like that, right? Or you can write it like this. N is less than or equal to 1. right? Just make sure the sign is always appropriate when you flip. All right, there's number 5. Let's go number 6. Looks like we can combine like terms again. Here we are, negative 2v plus 1 greater than or equal to negative 1. All right, let's go ahead and subtract 1 from both sides. Since I'm only subtracting 1, don't worry about flipping that sign, just leave it alone. Negative 2. Negative 2v, negative 2, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. V, flip the sign, positive 1, right? So V is that because I divided by a negative, so you need to flip the sign. Okay, there we go. There you have it. All right, so let's step up our game a little bit. Let's try this one right here. 6, well, let's go with the regular pen. 6 times 7r and 6 times negative 8. So first step, 24 plus 6r less than or equal to, what do we get? 42r minus 48. Okay, there's our first step. All right, next one. Let's get our r's on the same side. So I got some here, some here. Let's go ahead and subtract those 6r there. So subtract 6r there. So now we got 24 is less than or equal to, let's see, 42 minus 6. That's going to give us 36r minus 48. All right, let's keep it rocking and rolling by, let's get the numbers on the other side. We're trying to get that r by itself, so I'm going to undo that. So add 48 to both sides. Now we get what, 68, 72. So let's do this in a different 72 less than or equal to 36. We haven't multiplied or divided by a negative, so we are cruising along here. Let's divide by 36, divide by 36. So we get 2. Keep the sign like it was, r. So there's your answer. If you like to flip it, r is greater than or equal to 2. Either of those work right there. All right, here we go to the last one. Again, multiply, divide by a negative, flip the sign. Otherwise, treat it like an equation. This goes here, this goes here. Please don't forget the negative goes with the 4. Okay, just wanted to remind us. So negative 4x plus 32 greater than negative 8 plus 6x. Okay, let's get them on the same side. Here we go. I like these two x's. We got to get this across. Let's go ahead and add 4x to get rid of it here. Add 4x to keep it balanced over here. 32 greater than negative 8 plus 10x. All right, now we got to get those other numbers away. So let's add 8 to get rid of the negative 8. Add 8 here. So we get 40 is greater than 10x. And let's go ahead and divide by 10. Divide by 10 to get that x by itself. X less than 4. Or another way to say it is 4 is greater than x. So if you like to flip it. Make sure that sign is appropriate. And that's what you end up with. All right, there it is. There is the whole thing. That is inequalities. Here's what you need to do. If you multiply or divide by a negative, flip the sign. That should do it for you.